Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. Weekend edition. What's cracking, y'all? Let's do a top five. I feel like doing a top five, and this top five is going to be a top five that's right up everybody's alley. But before I get into the top five, I need y'all to get off into what you need to get off into, what you always get off into, and I appreciate you getting off into. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out like this right here, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share to the page. My top five Black Panthers. Starting at number five. Number five is a Black Panther you probably are not expecting a brother like myself to be digging on, but lo and behold, number five is Eric Killmonger. Eric Killmonger made his debut in Jungle Action number 6 all the way back in 1973. He was created by Don, still invited to the barbecue, McGregor, and drawn by Rich Buckler. Eric Killmonger, or Njadaka, as he was originally known as, had family, if we're retconning to scale, had family who were involved in the attempted overthrow of the Wakandan throne. That Claw incident. Remember, Claw had to get into Wakanda some kind of way to say, give me the vibranium or else. It was Njadaka's family who saw to this. And after the death of T'Chaka, Njadaka was spirited out of the city with Claw. So, because of his family being slaughtered and some imagined right he felt he had to the throne, this is comic book continuity, he developed a hate for Wakanda and its king, T'Challa, the Black Panther. Now, when he finally got a little bit of education behind him, did y'all know he had a PhD in engineering and neuroscience? He used all of this to manipulate and corrupt everybody he came across until he got back to Wakanda and with an army of supervillains. Well, I guess what qualifies as an army of supervillains. Team, squad, whatever you want to call it. But he eventually came back with these supervillains and attacked Wakanda on different levels. If you want to know how he did it, check out my videos, Panther's Rage, where I cover that entire storyline. He's involved in a lot of stuff. He's also been resurrected, not once, not twice, but 3 times. He is one of the few villains who is able to frequently get the better of T'Challa, despite T'Challa's preparation, kind of like Batman and the Joker. Njadaka is just something that you can't prepare for. And then at one point during the Hutland run, he actually bested T'Challa, technically, in ceremonial combat and inherited the mantle of the Black Panther briefly. After ingesting the heart-shaped herb, he went into a coma, but he emerged out of that coma with the same Panther-like powers as people who have taken the heart-shaped herb before him. Even tried to claim a spot in the Avengers. He even went on later on to try to usurp the intergalactic empire of Wakanda, along with a lot of Clintar. So Eric Killmonger deserves a place on this list because, number one, he is an implacable foe. Number two, since his cinematic debut, he has become a bit of an icon slash superstar, thanks to your boy Michael B. Jordan in the role. And so he falls at number 5 because he ain't the most noble of Black Panthers, and he's always scheming. And let's just be honest. Yeah, evil. Moving on. Number 4 on the list of top 5 Black Panthers is T'Chaka. T'Chaka made his debut in Fantastic Four number 53, May of 1966. T'Chaka is the father of T'Challa. He's got a lot of stuff going on that he's known for, that he's famous for, but we still haven't seen any of T'Chaka's adventures beyond Agents of Atlas, and of course the story that we always tell about T'Chaka with Claw and the Vibranium and T'Challa and him dying. It's almost as if T'Chaka isn't so much a Panther to be venerated or honored, but to be a placeholder. And I feel like T'Chaka is a placeholder because we don't I ain't gonna say we, but Marvel doesn't dedicate enough time to fleshing out who T'Chaka is beyond T'Challa, Wakanda, his wives, and his death. Did T'Chaka ever have any adventures as the Black Panther other than that one Agents of Atlas adventure? And then on top of that, he got kidnapped and had to be rescued by Nick Fury and them. So what do we get to see beyond Rise of the Black Panther about T'Chaka? I put T'Chaka on this list for the potential that exists with T'Chaka. We could tell some amazing Black Panther T'Chaka stories, but we don't. Maybe T'Chaka and young Blue Marvel could meet up and team up. A lot of monsters running around in the Marvel universe in the late 1950s. Maybe we could see T'Chaka deal with some of that. Or who knows? Maybe even deal with racism. Maybe T'Chaka went down to Georgia and fought the Ku Klux Klan before his son did. The possibilities are endless. T'Chaka, in my opinion, is a great Black Panther. He's just incredibly unutilized. My number 3 Black Panther on my top 5 Black Panther list, that would be Shuri. Yeah, Shuri made her debut in Black Panther Volume 4, number 2, in March of 2005, and she became a Black Panther in Black Panther Volume 5, 2009, which was her Black Panther run. Now, Shuri is the little sister of T'Challa, the Black Panther. She wanted nothing more in the world than to be a Black Panther. And she would have made it too if she didn't get knocked off of the stage on Challenge Day just before T'Challa went up and beat his Uncle Sion to inherit the mantle. Shuri has, according to Marvel Wiki and according to the Marvel Universe, Shuri has a genius level intellect on a par with T'Challa. Okay? Doesn't mean she's a dummy. Definitely no slouch. She was able to, during her stint as Black Panther, make her own Black Panther suit, habit, armor, along with gadgets that was totally different from anything that T'Challa had. Of course, because at that time she had not been imbued with the heart-shaped herb, but she still had to do her job as a Black Panther, which she did admirably. Later on, Shuri was put into a death-like coma by the Cabal, in which her brother had to come and rescue her, not only from the Cabal, but from a death-like state when she had ascended to the Djala and she was being trained on that spiritual plane by a spirit on the Djala who resembled her mother Ramonda. She returned from the Djala empowered, not even a Black Panther at all. Among the powers she has is anamorphing, size alteration, enhanced speed and durability, necromancy, and she is able to take a durable stone form. She is known as the Aja Adana, Griot, whatever you want to refer to her as. She's no longer a Black Panther, but it could be argued she has ascended to a level beyond what a Black Panther is. And now that she's not a Black Panther, she's a much more interesting character because to me, it felt like she was being shoehorned into the mantle just to go, oh, look at Shuri. She's a Black Panther. We need to give her her shine. I'm glad she's having her shine now without having Black Panther powers. On to number 2. My number 2 Black Panther on the list of Black Panthers is, of course, well, not of course, but it's Azuri. Now, I know what a bunch of y'all are thinking right now. Why Azuri? Azuri made his debut in Black Panther Volume 4, number 1, and in the Flags of Our Fathers miniseries. And in Fantastic Four Unlimited number 1, and Black Panther Volume 7, number 25. Now here, I know what you're saying. How in the heck does Azuri have so many appearances? Oh, and let's not forget Black Panther Volume 4, number 30. Number 30, I think it is. Yeah. Here's the thing. Because comic books retcon things so much, it needs to be pointed out and explained that at one point, Shonda was the Black Panther during World War II. That was in FF Unlimited. Then we retconned that and said T'Chaka was the Black Panther during World War II. But I think what it's called is a sliding timeline. So since the timeline is sliding a little further along, we have to pass those incidents and stuff along to a character farther back. So instead of it being T'Chaka, it's T'Chaka's dad, Azuri, as we've seen in the Flags of Our Fathers miniseries. Azuri is the father of T'Chaka, who is the father of T'Challa, who is the current Black Panther in comics. What I like about Azuri the most is that, well, 2 things. Number 1, Azuri has a brutal policy when it comes to people effing around with Wakanda. He's decapitating Nazis. He's killing anybody who gets too close to Wakanda. Why? Because we're supposed to be a secret. We can't be a secret if we letting people go and they running off and telling folks about us. But if you hear 1 or 2 people say, oh, I went to Africa and I saw this advanced kingdom, they sound like people that be like, oh, I went on a UFO and I got probed. You want to believe it, but you just like, bro, you got to show me some proof. And that's basically why nobody ever messed with Wakanda. Now, Captain America and the Howling Commandos during World War II came to Wakanda demanding vibranium, just like the Nazis came to Wakanda during World War II demanding vibranium, and the Nazis got their heads chopped off. The Americans at least got a warning. Captain America was like, I don't take nice to warnings, and Azuri was like, I don't take nice to people who don't take nice to my warnings, and pieced him up. I know in the Marvel database or Marvel wiki and all of that, it says they fought. But if you look at this picture at the end of their fight, who's carrying who off? So as you can see, simply by virtue of him being able to wash Captain America's ass in a fight, That puts that puts him straight up in the number 2 spot, in my opinion. That and his zero tolerance policy in protecting Wakanda and the vibranium, to me, makes him one hell of a Black Panther, because that is what a Black Panther is supposed to embody anyway: protection of the people and letting folks know we ain't no punks. And who lets Wakanda know they ain't no punks better than the number 1 Black Panther? Of course. Who the hell do you expect? T'Challa. Don't play with me. You know when T'Challa made his debut. You know what comic book he made his debut in. You know who he is. You know what he's about. Fantastic Four, Avengers, Agents of Wakanda, Dora Milaje. We can name names about T'Challa, and the names we name stand out. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Christopher Priest, Dennis Cowan, Reginald Hudlin, Ta-Nehisi Coates. All these artists at one time or another have worked on writing and or drawing the Black Panther. The Black Panther is a character made out of necessity, because in 1966 there was little to no Black people in comics. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby decided to change that in 1966, just 3 months shy of the formation of that actual Black Panther Party. So why is T'Challa Black Panther my number 1 Black Panther? If you gotta ask, you ain't no Black Panther fan. So what did y'all think about my top 5 Black Panthers? Drop it in the comments. Let me know how you feel about it. And until then, I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.